Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of this campaign that we're in that I forgot the name of for some reason.
Tales of Amnesia, Lunar.
Tales of Amnesia. I'm going to have to do it. I'll do the openings from now on.
Last episode, we almost killed the party, but we didn't because we are gracious gods. They managed to get away, although I believe several of them are not in great condition at the moment, if I had to guess. But the threat of the hounds and the lunar eclipse in the Elysian steel processing plant has been eliminated, as far as everybody can tell. The Victoris that is in the corner of the room seems to have been powered down successfully. And the party now sits in this now liberated steel processing plant, along with a number of random children that are probably crying. There's probably a lot of crying. What would you like to do?
Well, I only have one good hand, so I can't hug all the children. So
You're probably bleeding a bit.
I'm cauterized. I'm fine.
Yeah, that was the whole point of me lighting his wrist.
Don't worry about my.
You're probably not feeling great.
I have the most hit points out of all of us. I'm pretty sure. I'm feeling. I think
Spydar probably has the most hit points.
Maybe he has the most legs out of us too.
I think Naka's doing pretty good too.
Oh yeah, Naka, you didn't take much damage either.
24.
Okay,
HP.
I beat you.
It's not a competition.
I didn't know it was a competition.
Okay. No, I thought it was.
Your feet.
We should probably tend to the children. Oh gosh.
We can't give them any food. It's not like we do. We don't.
I didn't say that. I just
tend to the children.
Don't cry, children.
Waving your burning.
Yeah, my bloody stump. Don't cry. Is there like
If I remember correctly, most of them have gathered right outside the plant. They ran out. Yeah, going out of the plant. Mm-hmm.
I drug Panros out with me before I tend to the children. Can I loot his body to see if there's anything, maps or notes or anything fun on him?
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 14.
14. You find a couple things.
Okay.
You find a small pouch of gold. And there's about 300 gold pieces in there.
I'm going to take that, put that in my pocket.
You also find what appears to be a ledger.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any numbers on it specifically, other than dates. And it seems to be accounting for months worth of material and resources coming in and going out from the processing plant. You see accounts for steel, you see accounts for omnite, and you see accounts for labor.
But they don't have any names or numbers.
Correct.
How often
it seems pretty vague.
How often are the transactions taking place?
I'd say every few days, and it goes back probably 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna stuff that in my pocket.
Your Fair, do you have any clue? Is this one of many Elysian steel foundries? Or is this like a rare thing? Like this is the Elysian steel foundry?
Do I know that answer?
Yes, you do know that answer.
Okay.
This is certainly not the only
that's what I was
Elysian
gonna
Steel
think.
Foundry. There are many in this city. You probably can walk outside and see many more on the street.
Okay. So lighting this bad boy up would do nothing to impede
Probably not.
the production of Elysian steel, probably.
They could maybe buy themselves another one, but this one they actually seemingly this. If I remember right, DMs, I'm scratching my brain. My father walked out of the office
Correct.
in there.
Mhm.
So this, I'm assuming this plant, and knowing like how many guards were in here and the orphanage that's tied to this was like bought and sold for whatever operation is having. Lighting this on fire, maybe, but we still have to deal with my father
Yeah.
and the two other stooges.
So
And
if we glance
Thwart.
out at the other factories that are nearby, do we see a similar kind of detail of hounds or carriages or anything like that, like orphanage carriages or whatever around any of them from what we could see on our way in, or whatever?
From what you could see, no. In terms of hounds, I mean, there's a lot of people around, and hounds that are good at being hounds, you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at them necessarily. But you don't see anybody that looks like obviously hounds, and you don't see any carriages for the Hidden Pines Orphanage.
Okay, I was just gonna ask: is there the Hidden Pine Orphanage carriage that was there before? Is it still there, or is it gone?
It is still there. It appears to be unmanned, empty.
Okay.
I will gladly start busting up the foundation of this factory and crumble it to the ground. If other people want to focus on the rescue effort of getting people out, I will bring this building to the ground.
I think that would be awesome.
I did also forget to mention, technically, because you already got it last week, but the other thing that was on Penrose's body was the remote for the
remote. Yeah. I guess I would hand that over to like Vidar. I don't know anything about the remote. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, the only other thing was his crossbow, and Steven said that it like powered down or something.
Yeah, he was an artificer, so he had a magical crossbow, but it was dependent on him doing the magic.
Okay.
You would have known he was an artificer.
Yeah. Is there and you guys can correct me, but is there any reason for us to sneak back into my dad's office to see if there's any things of note?
It's not a bad idea.
I was gonna say, what about these snipers too? What kind of guns were they carrying? Anything we can take, or nothing worth noting?
I imagine it's probably stuff salvaged from 1,000 years ago.
I can I'll let Steven figure out those guns. If you want to go back up into the office, we can handle that.
Yeah, I would like to go back. I definitely think your fear would be very intrigued to see what his dear old dad has been up to. So
sure.
Meanwhile, maybe
happening.
let's get the kids into the bus, and we'll figure out what to do with them.
Yeah, and can I be like strategically like making weak points in the foundation so that like when everybody's done, I can essentially just like the final straw, boop, bust the building down?
Sure. There's a handful of things happening, so you could be doing that. That's not a problem. Your fear going up into the office, you find a handful of things. The first thing you notice is right on the sort of right wall as you walk in is just dozens of tally marks from an incredibly handsome sniper. That's unrelated. You then find what appears to be a desk and then sort of a large window overseeing the factory. Going through some of the desk drawers, you find a lot of paperwork. Most of it looks pretty legit. Most of it looks official. Almost all of it has your father's signature on it. Your father is a lot of things, but he's not a stupid businessman. That is for sure. And from briefly looking over things, you could tell that as much as he can, he seems to be keeping this sort of operation above board.
Do I spot anything out of place that could hint at like a hidden safe or any hidden buttons, anything out of place that my dad would be sneaky to hide things in?
Sure. Give me an investigation. Probably investigation.
17.
17. You don't find any secret chambers or anything like that necessarily. You wouldn't have that information. Never mind. I'll say though, you do find eventually a small box with some gold in it as well. So there's maybe 200 gold in there.
Okay, I'll be taking that. Iggy's breaking down the foundation.
I'm assuming you're not just actively hucking live grenades, but you're setting charges.
Okay. So
right,
it does me no good to leave him a note.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to leave him a note. Okay. All right, I'm going to... Yeah, I think
Iggy,
if I don't see anything, I'll just walk back out.
Iggy, are you taking any necessarily special precautions or whatever regarding the giant futuristic robot in the room?
Should we can we...
Vidar and I were just talking about that.
Okay.
Vidar, do you want to take point on that?
Yeah, I can try looking it over.
Can we turn it
What would you like to look at and for?
How it was immobilized. I guess that's the first thing.
Is it actually immobilized?
Yeah. Give me a tech check. I know
Do I actually need to make a
bother,
tech check?
but yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 2, so 12.
Well, okay. Well, you've never seen a Victorious in person. There's almost assuredly that's the case. You probably did study it in some like early comp-sci gen eds back in the day. Why is Grant freaking out? I don't understand.
Because of what Steph just put in our chat.
It was an idea.
So it's a little bit hard to ascertain like what a functioning great Victorious would look like as opposed to a broken one. You can tell though, even with a 12, that it does look like there are several like bits of like sheet metal and structural like hydraulics and stuff that do not look like they are in straight lines. So there are some parts that do look broken.
That is a great question, so I'm going to ask. The other thing I wanted to check is, can I look it over, and is there a specific like socket that I can put an Umbra core in there? I highly doubt it.
Okay, give me another tech check. This will be for a handful of bits of information.
15.
Okay. So,
or no, sorry. No, I rolled 15 plus 10. 25.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
That is a bit different.
You know as well as I do, the Umbra cores are specifically a collection or a collective invention and patented technology. The Universal Coalition, was it 8,000 years ago or whatever the frick that this happens, did not have access to that technology.
Details.
It's also worth noting, you know, you also would have studied this back in your Gen Ed Comp Sci stuff, that the Victorious are built to be war machines inside and out. They are designed to not be broken, generally speaking, and also designed not to be hackable. They were not designed with a backdoor. They are actually designed in such a way that they have sort of like a widespread like firmware that is controlled by sort of the same artificial intelligence that rebuilds the bots, that is constantly patching itself as it's learning more and more about like attacks that are used to break the circuitry and whatever. So although theoretically it has certainly been done where people have managed to hack into and sort of disrupt the logic of a Victorious, it only ever works once, and it's pretty difficult to do so. And freaking no, it doesn't have an Umber Core slot.
I suppose that explanation also answers the question that I had, which was, you know, is there any kind of way that we can see or access whatever its code base is for self-replication?
If that was easily accessible, the Victorious probably would no longer be a threat.
Fair.
For Naka, you would find 2 sniper rifles, which are items that you can find on stars5e.com.
Could Better use 2 of his spider legs to dual wield sniper rifles.
No.
Oh my god.
Don't have fingies on those legs.
When I came into the building, was the headmaster of the orphanage there? Oh my gosh.
No, the headmaster was not present.
Okay. F that guy. Okay. So I say we try to get the kids somewhere safe. That is not the orphanage. DMs, would I know any safe havens that I could take them, like in a project within like the local Elysian government to that like safeguards children?
There are
It's like, do I just drop them off at the firehouse, you know?
Right. Yeah, there are the like community centers,
Okay.
all of which were at one point churches that have been converted, right?
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
you'd probably know where a relatively local one is that you can go to.
Okay. I'm gonna let everyone know, like, definitely we're not taking the kids back to the orphanage. How far away is the Pines orphanage from the steel mill?
It's probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
okay.
thereabouts.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
So it's likely that they have some place that they were staying in the city for the time that they are working at the mill, and then they get taken back rather than being shuttled back and forth to the orphanage every time.
Okay, with that knowledge, I will ask one of the children. I'm gonna like take out some rations and come here, kiddies. Come gather around Uncle Yorfear, okay? Do they look terrified of me? If so, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm gonna hand the rations over to. Grab my strong hand. I'm gonna hand the rations over to Ember and Alora because they're probably softer than I am and not. Yeah. And I'm gonna ask them to round up the children and see if they can figure out where they were staying close by, so we do not take them to the same place. and then we can go to that place and destroy it. But don't tell the children that.
Can I take one of the sniper rifles?
Yes.
Sure.
Tell them we are friends, even though one of our friends has spider legs. Okay.
I'll put them away.
Oh,
You should probably put that.
we may look rough and tumble. All right, so I'm gonna hand some rations to them. I'll take some
Yep.
steps back. Uncle Yorfear is gonna be out of the picture for a few minutes.
Okay.
Hey. Alora probably feels a little like awkward. I don't know if I've ever. I interact with children a lot. Yes.
Sure.
So I'll like bend down with the rations. Would you like to eat?
Yeah, a couple of kids, probably somewhat untrusting, but they would eventually sort of come up and look over what you have, pick around all the green stuff, probably. Ember, what are you doing?
So obviously I recognize Liz. Would I know that the boy with her is her brother since we never technically met him?
You did know him.
He was. They were members of the roaming swamp.
Okay. So I would recognize
Yeah.
both of them.
Yes. And actually, as sort of this is happening and you guys are handing out rations, Ed looks you sort of square in the eyes, and you see just like light, just like excitement, and he runs over to you as fast as he can, pushes a couple kids out of the way, and just like hugs your leg as closely as he can, and just like through tears, just yells out, "I thought you were dead. I thought you were all dead."
Nope. And is Liz somewhere near us?
Yeah, Liz is has only moved a couple steps away from where they were standing before Ed rushed you. She's looking a little awkward and standing back from you guys.
I wonder why.
Not coming up.
So I think I would hug Ed and embrace him and be like, "Hey, bud, how you doing?"
I'm doing so much better now. How did you get away? Where did you go?
Get away. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to wrap my brain around everything right now. He's from the roaming swamp.
The clan that you joined after your clan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did we get away from the shadow?
No, the beast, the wolves, the whatever it was that came and attacked the clan. Everybody died.
Of my original clan?
The roaming swamp.
The dragons?
There were wolves. Liz said she saw bears and wolves. How did you get away?
I don't know. Oh, is he talking about... Sorry, slow moment. Is he talking about with Aegis? Those wolves?
Nope.
Guys, I'm lost in the sauce.
It's been a traumatic day for all of us, young Ed.
Can I, like, motion for Liz to, like, come closer to us?
Yeah, she hesitantly walks forward.
I think I'd look at her and say, sister, Seems like a lot has happened since I've seen you last.
Yes. What Ed was trying to say is the rest of the roaming swamp clan is dead. Everyone, they're all gone, and we thought everyone was gone.
How did you guys escape?
We were off in the woods exploring.
And when you came back, everyone was gone?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
She came and found me. I apparently had fallen asleep during the whole thing, and then we ran.
I think I would look back at Liz and say, so you found Ed before all of this happened?
We were playing together before all this happened, but I found him after, and we ran.
I think I would hand some rations to Ed and say, you look really hungry. Why don't you go ahead and eat these?
I am really hungry.
And I'm gonna put my arm around Liz and be like, come walk with me for a second.
All right. As a reminder, she is a gnome child, so it's like...
Yeah, and I'm 6 feet tall, so...
Yeah, it's more like a hand on her shoulder kind of
sure.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to walk with her, far enough away that if her and I whisper, Ed can't hear us.
Ed's definitely watching, for what it's worth.
Does Ed have a smell?
Beyond just dirty, sweaty child.
Just beyond, is there an aroma coming off of Ed?
If you'd like to get close enough to check, you're more than...
I mean, I am...
Your fear the child's too.
I mean, he hugs me. Did I smell anything?
Hey kid, come here. Your friend wants to smell you.
Papa Biden wants to sniff you. Okay, yeah, I want to... Look, I'm an old man. I want to sniff a child. Haven't you ever wanted to smell... What do I need? Is there a smelling roll that I need to make?
I mean, if you literally just want to walk up to him and sniff him, I'll let you do it.
I mean, I don't want to make it obvious that I'm sniffing them. I don't want to just bend over. I want to just see if there's a wafting, any strange...
So you'll walk past him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Is he a zombie? Is what
I'm trying to see if there's a hint of sulfur or shadowy smell from the cave. Okay, that's dope. That's a plus 18.
You get definitely sweaty, dirty child.
Like a real child, though, not like a figment of our imagination child.
Best you can tell. Mm-hmm.
A polymorph child. Okay. All right. I walk past Iggy. He smells like a child.
Okay, so now that Liz and I are out of earshot of Ed, I think I would crouch down to be as close to eye level with her as I can, and ask her point blank, how did you get Ed back?
You can't tell him anything.
I won't say a thing to Ed. That's why we stepped over here.
A couple weeks after you guys left, I was exploring again and found another shadow. And this one didn't want any other people. It just wanted me.
What did it want from you?
My soul.
And did you give the shadow your soul?
Well, I agreed to when I'm done with it. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh no.
Natural 20.
Oh.
That was a good roll to get a nat 20 on.
Sure was.
Looking at how the light is falling on both of you, you realize her shadow is not aligned with the light. It's a little bit off.
You snitched the wrong kid.
I sniffed the wrong kid.
Okay.
And as you look at it, it adjusts back into position.
Okay.
We need to take a long rest and fast.
Yeah. But if I
Sounds
look
like-
at Ed,
Sounds like she just needs a bar of soap and a sewing needle.
She's just
Ed
from Neverland,
Shadow
guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
looks fine.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, Ed's shadow seems fine as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Neverland.
So you promised the shadow you could have your soul when you're done with it.
Yeah.
And what did the shadow say?
Well, that you give Ed back, and he needed to. He said, protect his investment, whatever that means. And he told us to head north to Elysium.
So, how did you end up in this factory?
Well, we ended up in the Shady Pines orphanage, and everyone there is doing these work studies. You know, we're working to make us more adoptable.
Classic.
You going off of that nat 20, you notice a bit of hair next to Liz's ear move in a breeze that you don't feel, and she sort of cocks her head slightly.
Is Hyoba nearby anywhere?
Yeah, Hyoba would probably be on your shoulder, and is watching her shadow intently. Liz's shadow.
Yeah. I think I would stand up and as quietly as I could kind of like like quietly, as stealthily as I could, like look at Hyoba, and then like look back at Liz, and then like look at Hyoba and look back at Liz. Like, is she okay? Like, can you tell, like, with your true sight, what's happening right now?
Yeah. Give me a stealth check.
$11.
Hyoba sort of ruffles her feathers and leans in and says, she looks okay, but I don't like what's hanging on to her.
What? Okay. All right. I think I would probably go ahead.
Liz says to you, I had a chance to bring him back, so I took it. Wouldn't you have?
I think I would bend down next to her again and say, yeah, I completely understand. And then I would ask her, before you left, when you were done talking with the shadow, did anyone come with you, or did you go by yourself?
We went, just me and Ed.
Okay. All right. Well, you look hungry, so let's go get you some more food. And I think I would walk her back to where Ed is. And then I would, like, motion to Alora, like, hey, I need to talk to you. And pull her to the side and just tell her everything that happened with Liz. Have you heard of that before?
Have I heard of that before? I mean, I know the shadows prey on the emotionally weak, and Liz was definitely in that place.
I mean, it seems like a reasonable story from what you know from what shadows do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But in terms of, like, whatever's with her, like, would we know anything about that?
Religion check?
From both of us or just her?
Both of you.
Both of you, that's fine.
I got a 7.
I got a 7.
It is uncommon, but not unheard of the idea of shadows offering people things for the price of, I mean, a bunch of stuff, souls included. And usually with a soul comes an amount of servitude and also an amount of power. People who make these deals usually go by the name of warlocks.
Who's watching Liz and Ed right now?
I mean,
I think I haven't
sniffed
taken
Ed,
my
so-
eye off them. Even though Alora and I are having a conversation, I think I've still got one eye on them.
Yeah, I'll get Ember and Yorfear to make perception checks.
I'm assuming this happened rather quickly. Perception?
Yeah.
I got a 17.
24.
24.
It's good.
Yeah, Yorfear, you see Liz lean over and whisper something into Ed's ear. And Ember, just before that, again, you see the little lock of hair by her ear move. At that point, Liz turns towards you, Ember, mouths, "I'm sorry," and her shadow twists away from the ground and wraps up around her and Ed, wrapping them together as she holds him tight, and they are both engulfed in this darkness, and then it fades and they're gone.
What the Sam hell?
Yikes.
What?
All right, we're gonna meet them again, maybe. So, well, that is shadowy. They must move
One
in
of the
shadows.
kids drops their rations on the ground, just mouth wide open, staring at where they were.
She never said she could do that.
She's quite
We
the
had to walk to
magician.
the factory every day.
Yeah, that probably took a lot of strength out of her. Probably can't do that many times.
Probably only like twice.
Speaking
Before,
of walking to
sitting around for an hour or so.
Speaking walking to the factory, I look at a kid that just said it. Where did you guys walk from?
We've been staying at an inn, I guess, nearby.
Remember the name or what it looked like?
I know it had a picture of a cauldron out in front of it.
There's 2 E's.
There's
I
2
haven't
E's.
gotten that far in the alphabet yet.
All right. Hey, that's very good. Thank you for even pointing out. That's very observant of you. You know, that's great. What was your name?
Caleb.
With 2 E's? Is that how you knew? 2 E's?
I don't know. I don't know how to spell it.
That's fine. You're an orphan. Probably wouldn't know. Anyways, were there people watching you at the inn, or were you guys just there? Did we murder your handlers, or are there people at the inn expecting you guys?
I think you murdered our handers.
Cool. Well, you don't have to worry about those guys anymore, and we are not going to take you back to that inn. And we're not taking you back to that orphanage either, because the headmaster's kind of a dick. So...
But if we don't go back, then we'll stop making money to feed everyone.
If we don't work, they won't eat.
That's what the headmaster told you?
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. Elysium provides all orphanages with a large stipend of money, and your headmaster likes to pocket that money into his own hands.
What's a stripping?
Don't worry about it, Caleb. These are grown-up words. Just know he is bad man, and you won't have to be under his subject anymore.
Can we still get adopted? Can you adopt us?
No, I can't adopt you. I only have one hand, so
That's good enough.
Is it?
No, one little kid in the back.
Yeah. See, he knows.
I don't mind.
Yeah, if I adopt you guys, it's gonna be a lot worse of a lifestyle for y'all. So, you don't want me to adopt you at all.
Would we work in the factory?
No, you wouldn't work in the factory. You would work on my farm, and that's even more awkward. So, we're not gonna do that.
We haven't done farming before.
How many times do we get to eat?
Listen, Caleb, this isn't what we're talking about right now. Pretty much every child that I come in contact with dies, so we're gonna get you to safety, and then we're gonna leave you there. And
yeah, Jimmy died.
Jimmy was a brave soul. He fought for his freedom. That's his dust. And I grab a pouch and I scrape. I'm holding the pouch in my arm crevice because I only have one hand, and I scrape Jimmy's dust into a pouch, and I hand it back to Caleb and say, "Remember, Jimmy, he was a brave soul, and you all are brave. You fought for your freedom, stood up to the man, and I'm sorry for what the hounds put you through."
Hounds?
And the headmaster of your orphanage. The hounds, the people in like the black and orange or the gold, they're the hounds. They're like a thief guild. They were pretty cool at one point, but the leaders now are also dicks, and they ruined everything good that I made a long time ago.
Dicks.
It's like when someone is really mean and they do unkind things to you, it's rightful you can call them a dick.
So you were a dick to those guys you killed?
I was more of like an avenger. An avenger and a justice bringer. You know, like the Silent Knight. Right? Came in and saved the day.
That's a good movie. Avengers.
Yeah.
What's a movie? You know, we're kind of like a group of the Silent Knight.
You don't look like the Silent Knight.
I didn't say I was the Silent Knight. You're taking my words out of context. What was your name?
I lean over to
Fallon.
Vidar. Is he the Silent Knight?
Fallon? Did you say Fallon?
Yeah.
Caleb Fallon.
I'm Jimmy's brother.
Very nice. I'm sorry again for your loss. Jimmy, he was a brave soul, and he died with much honor. And you
Jimmy's
will all...
just as salty as before.
We murdered so many children in this fight. Okay, so anyways, we are gonna take you guys somewhere safe, and do we still have the sending stone?
You do?
Yeah.
Could we I'm trying to figure out a way. Well, gosh, I don't really know. Yeah, okay. We'll just take you to a community center. You guys will be happier there. And
Can we go to a farm instead?
you can't come to my farm. No one's there right now. No one's there.
That sounds fine.
No, there's a lot of traps and sharp weapons that you guys can't.
That sounds awesome.
It's not. No.
I know how to work a conveyor belt.
There's no conveyor belts on my farm. It would be useful to have one, but we don't have one on my farm.
You could get one and I'll work it for you.
Caleb, that's so nice of you. But I'm really trying to turn another leaf in my character's story arc, okay? And
I only need to eat once every day.
I would feed you more than once a day. Okay, Caleb.
Let's do it.
Okay, pause.
How many are there? How many children are there right now?
I think there's like 10-ish.
Do I recognize any other Decaxian children?
No, you would not.
No.
If I were to send them back to my farm, do I know anyone in the area that could watch them on my farm?
Oh.
Yeah, I was a hermit. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Caleb, you don't want to go back with me, okay? I'm not a nice person. Maybe one day I'll be a nice person, and maybe I'll adopt you one day. But today is not that day.
So you are a dick.
I have been known to be a dick, yes.
Dick.
All right.
Yeah, they all start pointing.
Okay, this dick just gave you food and saved you from a life of slavery. So I think it equals out. Just because I'm not going to adopt you.
What's slavery?
Okay.
How many E's does it have?
I'm not exactly sure because I was an orphan too. I didn't learn how to write, so I'm not sure. I think
Did
one.
you get adopted?
Nope. I adopted myself. Just I lived on the streets, and that's how I created the hounds. We stole from the rich, gave to the poor. We took care of ourselves. It was a group just like you guys. Oh no, I see what I'm doing.
Those the ones that made
Yeah.
us work.
Well, you know how the dick, right? We learned what the word dick means, correct?
You are a dick.
Okay. Before they made the child slave thing happen, we were cool. And for like 40 years, all we did was steal from the rich and give to the poor and murder child enslavers. And then I left one day because I had some business to take care of. And when I came back, I found out my friends, who are dicks now, have enslaved the children that we swore to protect. We were once orphans. And they did everything opposite.
It sounds like you're having trouble accepting accountability for your actions.
This is a very wise child.
Caleb, that's interesting that you would say something like that. You have a smart mouth on you, and I accept everything. I don't really accept the fact that they took something that had a rock solid foundation, like the hounds, we were thieves, and turned it into something that it wasn't.
Breaking the law doesn't sound like a great foundation.
It wasn't breaking the law, okay? We took from people who didn't want to spread the wealth. They broke the law first, and we were distributing justice how we felt fit because the Elysium police didn't take care of anything.
So you didn't have any rules?
We had rules, a code of honor, a thieves' code.
I don't think they followed it anymore.
No, they didn't, and that's why they're dicks.
They're not very good rules. You can just break them whenever you want.
Well, did you see the guy with the horns? The red skin?
It points at Vidar.
No, not that guy. The guy that
I
was
pull out my arms.
no, Vidar. The guy with the red skin. Never trust a tiefling. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
That's
A
super
tiefling
loud.
kid in the back says, "Hey."
It's extremely problematic.
Yikes.
Listen. Never trust a tiefling. That's all I gotta say.
This guy is a dick.
We got a horn
What about-
tail. No
what about the
bueno.
academy? Could we take him there? Or is
I don't know if they would be fond of us dropping kids off at the academy, but sure. Hey, you guys like magic?
The Borealis Academy?
Yeah.
They still do the scholarship at the orphanage.
Oh, they they do the scholarship at the orphanage? They do, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how's that going? Many of you guys make it out a lot?
No.
When was the last time that they did? How many months has it been? I guess since the last scholarship, DMs.
It's probably like 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys
still
were in
do
training
the-
for a while.
They still do the scholarship, huh? I thought that was like a one-time thing.
I don't know. They did it.
They did it?
We're not old enough to be on the list yet.
Oh, that's right. You have to be at least 13, I believe. How old are you, Caleb?
8.
I would have guessed that. All right, well, maybe we'll just take you guys up to the Borealis Academy. You guys could hang out and learn magic or something.
How long is that journey from here? How much longer do we have?
A couple of days.
I don't feel comfortable taking 10 children with us there. Not gonna lie.
Well, okay. What do you want to do? You want to just drop them off at the community center?
I vote yes to that, but that's just my opinion.
You have a bag of holding, right?
Yikes!
I don't understand.
If we were to get all of them in there, they would have like a minute of oxygen.
Just dead
That's
children.
funny. That's funny.
Real quick.
Yeah, okay, that's probably wise, Laura. Yeah, let's just take them somewhere close by. You guys, do any of you guys know of it? Well, no, never mind. That's a stupid question. All right, how close is the nearest community center?
Probably, if you load them all in and the wagon, I mean, maybe 15-20 minutes, you can be one.
All right. Let's go. If anyone objects, let's load them up. Take them to the community, just drop them off at the community center. We can talk to someone there, give them the deets a little bit. Or you guys can create your own cool ragtag group, and you guys can survive on
dicks.
If you guys want to be dicks, I don't advise it. But you guys could fend for each other if you want.
Before we get this show on the road, a logistics question. Can I take both sniper guns?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
take them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, carrying them around with you at all times would probably
No,
be
Sure.
conspicuous, if not
Sure.
challenging.
No. The thought is to sell it later.
Oh, sure.
He's just like a witcher. One of them has silver bullets and the other one has normal bullets.
There you go.
They are
Done.
both plasma, but sure.
But now I
Also-
can fire 2 twice.
You you do also notice these sniper rifles seem pretty much brand new.
Oh.
Oh. Interesting.
Okay.
Were they Omnite power cells or normal power cells?
They would have been Omnite power cells.
Oh, heck yes. Let's go. So now I can have 3 Omnite power cells that recharge.
Yep.
Ignatius.
Yes. I didn't mention this earlier because there was a constant conversation happening. But in addition to blowing up the building, I would also like to add to that list breaking the Victoris. So not just like planting charges all over it, but like I have an ability to literally break things, and I want to just do that all over this thing, and especially like things that look like they're like key components to, you know, like lines for fluids, or, you know, that kind of thing. Critical components I would like to break, so this thing cannot be functional.
Spend 20 minutes and break anything and everything that you think would be important for it to function,
including the remote.
Unless we wanted to test making sure it doesn't power on after you're done breaking it.
I will leave the remote till the end, and we can test it, and then I will break the remote.
Okay. You spend 20 minutes breaking it and laying your charges all around the factory. That's fine. Meanwhile, all the kids are loaded up in the wagon. Would you like to try to power it on now that it's been broken a dozen times?
Yeah.
If everyone's out of line of sight.
Yeah, absolutely. No one is here. Like if Vidar and I are there for the testing, we are very much behind cover, you know.
Yeah. There's a small amount of Jimmy still left, but I don't know how much that's going to matter.
I thought he got vaporized.
Right. Also, while I'm thinking of it, your fear, at some point the darkness would have gone away and there would have just been a hand lying on the ground. Did you want to take that?
F that hand.
Fair enough.
You cut it off for a reason.
Yeah, you hit the button to turn it on, and just sparks and like hydraulic fluid just start shooting everywhere.
I love it.
You hear the sound of clicking of like attempting like an engine trying to turn over and just routinely failing. You can see movement, like it's trying to function, but it like you have broken it beyond repair.
Any fluids that are spurting out of it, I would like to light on fire.
Fair enough.
Hoping that any flammable fluids will, you know, the flames will trace back up into whatever reservoirs they're in and just, you know, effectively
and cause a chain reaction, blowing up every bomb in the building, you included.
No.
Yeah, you set it on fire. I'm assuming, you know, shut off the remote and then blow it up, sort of deal.
Yeah.
And then you guys all jump in the wagon, or around the wagon, and start walking off. And do you cool guys don't look at explosions yet? You just...
Oh no, Iggy definitely looks at his explosion.
Full on Django.
Yeah. This is a, you know, take a step back, hit the button, and just see the
yeah.
Cool.
All of the kids just enamored watching all this. They're cheering. Caleb pulls out a camera and takes several pictures.
Uncle Iggy, he's the cool uncle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming half of us are in the invisible way, the speeder,
yeah,
and then half of us are in like the okay. All right, to the nearest community center.
Steven, can I talk about a thing that's not happening anymore?
Sure.
Can I just mention?
Yeah.
We talked about if you had not taken extra precautions to take down the Victoris and just left it there, eventually it would have booted back up and started trying to self-replicate with the only metal it can find around, which would have been Elysian steel.
Elysian steel. Yeah.
And it would have been a future campaign.
Oh no.
A bunch of Elysian steel Victoris would show up.
Oh no. Well,
Not
good
this
job.
time.
Good job, guys.
Nice.
I
That
did
would have
have
been
a thought
a
of
post-credit
dipping-
sequence on the campaign at the very end that we would have talked about it.
Nice.
Anyway,
I did have the thought of dipping my arm in the molten Elysian steel, but then figured that that would probably destroy my arm rather than
Probably.
coat it with Elysian steel.
yeah,
Even if
wouldn't
it
go very
did,
well.
like it would be like frozen in that position.
Just be goopy. Okay. Yeah, you guys, it doesn't take long for you guys to make it to the community center. And for many of you, especially those of you who have not been to Vita Nova before, this community center is it does not look like any community center any of you would be familiar with. It is a immaculate building, very like Renaissance era Gothic structure, with huge sculptures and stained glass windows, all depicting what seems to be the like glorious Eternus. There is no like, you know, depictions of Eternus being dead. There's no depiction of like him being defeated or anything. Like this looks like a building that is old enough to be still celebrating the guy that was killed 1,000 years ago. And you can see many people walking in and out of it. Some people, like, I mean, this building is obviously multi-purpose, effectively a DMV and a community center and a courthouse, all sort of wrapped into one. And you can pull up the wagon next to the front entrance. Certainly, it's a busy area of town. Lots of people coming in and out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just pull up. Is there like any guards out front or anything?
Yeah, there are guards out front. Mhm.
Oh. And okay. Let's how do we want to do this?
Are you afraid of the guards?
Well, we're rolling up in a orphanage carriage with a bunch of orphans. We're not from the orphanage, and we're gonna tell them not to take them back to that orphanage. And we just blew up a steel mill. How much information are we gonna? What's our story here? If we just like kick them out, it's gonna be a little odd. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just kick them out.
Okay.
We have established that you're a dick.
Thank you, Fallon, very much. Let's keep the dick talk to a minimum. The grown-ups don't really like it. Just say it around Uncle Yorfear and Uncle Iggy, okay? That's all. But we're cool with it, but when we get around the grown-ups, no dick talk, all right? Now, you guys don't want to go back to the orphanage, right? They weren't very nice to you there, right?
We're going to the farm.
Nope, we're not. There's no farm. No one knows about my farm, and you're not going to talk about my farm. Okay, Caleb? Thank you. Thank you. There's hope for you yet. Good, good. Thank you. Okay, come on, children. Follow. I have a bloody stump. I'm gonna do my best to cover my missing hand with my poncho and make it look like I just didn't come from murdering a bunch of people.
Can we just wrap his stump with whatever, you know, I'm sure we have some scraps of cloth with us.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah, you can spend a minute to do that.
Yep, okay. And then I'm gonna walk the kids to the front door and say, these children need shelter. Will you be kind enough to take them in?
Are they yours?
They are not. We found them outside of how far away from the steel mill are we?
20 minutes.
Okay. Oh gosh. Listen, we found them, and it was the carriage driver that was with them had a heart attack. We found him on the side of the road. He was mauled by bears. I'm just kidding. What happened was these kids need shelter. Their orphanage guy has been making them work for like a slave thing.
The guard who's you're talking to, who has witnessed your story change 4 times, is giving you the most skeptical
Listen,
look.
we're wardens, okay? We're here on a mission.
Wardens are you now?
Yeah, we're wardens.
Of all of the things that he has said so far, that is the most true thing.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, and I'm Lord Kalis.
You're not Lord Kalis.
I don't know who that is.
That's like I said, we're wardens. He is not from Elysium, but
Well,
I
far
am,
from home
brother.
there, aren't you?
Very far from home. You don't even know the half of it.
The wall's that away.
You're right. We were sent here on a mission. We need to get to the Borealis Academy. And we stumbled upon these children here that have not been taken care of very well. As you can see, they're a little not well kept. And I would advise you, please do not send them back to the Hidden Pines orphanage at all.
It is not within our purview to make those kinds of decisions. But if you're releasing abandoned children to us, we can put them through the system.
What does the system entail?
They'll each be identified and cataloged and shipped off to whatever orphanage is most equipped to handle them.
So most likely the one that they just came from.
We do send a lot of children to the Hidden Pines, yes.
Oh, man.
Here it's quite scenic this time of year.
Yeah, it's scenic, all right. Right, kids? It's really nice.
Dick.
It's icky. Yes, you're right. It's icky. How long does it take them to get processed through the system, typically?
Few days.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. And I look back to the group. Just be like, we can't really just like leave them here to get shipped back to the Pines so they can go work in the mines again, right? That's not. I mean, I can't let that happen. Okay. I'm not cool with that. Are you guys cool with that?
Everybody else is super
somebody
cool with it.
As somebody who literally grew up on the streets unsupervised, like, I'd be totally fine. As much as like growing up on the streets sucked, like I'd be totally fine with just letting them loose and, you know, do their own thing. Because I'm sure they could handle themselves.
Actually, make a sort of a retroactive perception check
Is that Iggy or me?
for Iggy.
Will they actually survive on this?
Would they be able to handle themselves? Oh, that's not a good roll. 11.
Could I help with it? Because I did survive on the street.
Sure.
You just want them to roll twice, or you want me to roll?
You can roll.
That is much better.
Yeah.
22.
Okay, we like that number.
You have not noticed any stray kids on the streets of
Okay.
Elysium. And it doesn't really make sense that you get this information from a perception check, but you rolled a 22. Yeah, I suppose your fear would know, like, it was challenging for him as a orphaned kid to evade being caught and sent to an orphanage. Like, kids are not allowed to be unprotected on their own on the streets.
Elysium is like all about social
was
service.
I allowed to exist on my own on the
Experiment
streets?
with explosives.
Yeah.
I think it takes a special kid to do this. I'm not sure Caleb is the kid for this one.
In Elysium especially, there are the whole country is divided into different districts, and each district is run by a councilman. And the cleanliness and orderliness of each district is something each councilman takes incredibly seriously, and that would include things like kids running around free. So if it's easier to ship them off to another district,
Is there?
that's what they'll do.
I mean, I know
The public reasoning for that is
to keep them safe.
Yeah, making sure the kids are all
For
safe.
sure,
But-
super dangerous. But also, Blackthorn runs this city.
Is there a district that I know of that was more loosey goosey for the hounds back in my time? Oh, that's gonna be.
I mean, you are in Beta Nova,
Nova.
right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the hub.
I just look. We can decide as a group if you want to leave them here or take us with us, but just know I don't like the thought of them getting. Oh my gosh. I just saw that gif. Oh my gosh.
That's Naka in the passengers or the driver's seat.
Oh my gosh. I don't. I know what the headmaster did there to Sai and to the kids, and I don't want them to go through that again. But to be honest, I haven't been a part of Vita Nova in years, and I can't tell you any safe place that I can take them. And the Borealis Academy is the only thing that I can think of.
To the farm. To the farm.
Who is gonna watch you at the farm?
To the farm.
Us?
I can watch conveyor belts.
It's a 2-day ride to the farm.
I can
It's a
almost
3-day
read
ride to the
map.
orphanage.
Yeah, do you even know how to read a map? If I were to, because we have to go to the Borealis Academy. If I send you to the farm, do you know how to get there?
I think if we all put our heads together, we have most of the alphabet covered.
Do they have any? Oh my gosh, do they have omnis?
No.
No.
I figured. I just didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's totally easy for an orphan to get 1,000 gold to buy an Omni.
Listen, maybe one of their parents just handed them an omni before they died. Gosh, tragic omni story. I mean, I don't know how to get them there. We have to go to the Borealis Academy. We don't have enough time to just go south.
Can we get a fancy shadow like
No,
Liz? Then we can.
You don't want a fancy shadow like Liz. The shadow is not good, Caleb. If a shadow approaches you, it's no good.
Your
Don't
shadow's
trust
on me right
shadows.
now.
Don't trust tieflings.
Correct. Correct.
The two guards up on the stairs look at each other.
Okay, listen. I don't know when I'm gonna be back. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it back. You guys go to the farm. Do you know how to? Did any of you guys spend work time in the farm fields?
I know how to cook some things.
Okay, that's not farming.
My mom had a garden.
Where's your mom?
Where do you think, you dick?
I mean, I had a mom, but oh my gosh. Okay, just whatever. Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe Bugaboo will help us. Can we, hey, alright, don't worry about it, guards. It's fine. I'm gonna adopt them myself. They're mine now. I don't trust you guys at all.
I think there's like paperwork that you're supposed to fill out for something like that.
Yep, I'm gonna go right to City Hall about that right now. Everyone, get back in the carriage. Let's go.
It's right here.
Okay, fine.
It's like they've got like a circle drive and the carriage just goes around the drive and parks again.
Fine. Where's the paperwork? How many kids are there? How many kids am I adopting?
Kids. There's 10 kids. Do you go in and sign adoption papers for 10 children?
It's a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea.
The last child you were watching died. Maybe it's not a great idea to have.
Oh. Thank
Not
you,
only did it die,
Vidar.
but it also came from the same place as all these kids. So I don't even know if you're they probably will disqualify you. Like the last kid we gave you from this orphanage, you got killed.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna trust you with 10 more.
They never gave me Sai.
Well,
It'll be fine. We'll never see these kids again.
My gosh, that's a terrible thing to say, Vidar. Listen, I look at the kids. You don't really want me to adopt you, do you?
Farm sounds nice.
There's going to be no one there to watch you. I have a mission to do. I have some things to take care of. I can't actually bring you along with me.
I feel like we've been watched enough for like at least a couple of years at this point, you know?
So I'm gonna just let you go to the farm surrounded by weapons. And you guys are just gonna...
You have weapons?
Yeah, a lot of weapons, actually. That's why the farm's not a great idea.
I mean, I can manage conveyor belts. I'm sure I can handle that.
Okay, guards, we'll be right back. I'm gonna take them out for one last meal. We're gonna go over to the pub over here, and we'll be back. All right, get in the carriage. Let's go.
All right.
We're going to Bugaboo's gift shop.
What?
You mean
Omni.
Dorbar?
Yeah, Bugaboo.
Dorbar, the owner of Opportune, Omnite, and Omni Emporium?
Yeah, but your fear literally with the most confidence says Bugaboo.
it's not the next day though, is it?
Same day. Yeah,
Actually, it's probably pretty late in the day at this point.
I feel like it doesn't. There's no
4:30.
reason for it. Like, I know we're trying to save time, but also if I feel like we should be showing up the next day around the same time that like the hounds would be showing up.
And why?
As like a,
I'm sorry.
hey, look,
Missed that.
they didn't show up.
Oh,
We
got
took
you.
care of your problem.
Okay. Do we go and we take a long rest? We get an inn. We go get a hotel, and we get a room and we just sleep. And we can think about what we're gonna do.
Just give Durabar a bunch of gold and send him to your place with all the
Well,
kids.
that's probably what we're gonna do. Okay. I don't know this guy. I don't have any friends. That's really bad. I've lived a pretty shallow life, guys.
Unfortunately, all the friends you have right now are on
They're
the same
dicks. They're
job
dicks.
that you're on.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are dicks too. They are just happy to just send 10 kids off into the wilderness. If it means getting.
Oh, I meant
academy.
the hounds, not these guys.
Oh well.
But yeah, they're
those aren't your
also
friends.
just surrounded by dicks. All right, so yeah. All right, what do we want to do? Do we want to take a long rest and then we can go see Bugaboo?
Sure.
What if we leave the children in the hotel as they're sleeping?
Yeah, it's just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dark Yorfear coming out. I can't adopt 10 children.
Do you go to the inn?
Yeah, okay, that's what we're doing.
Not the one with the cauldron and the 2 E's.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
not
You go-
that
you
one.
go
We're
to
gonna
some
go to
other
the
one.
one with one E, a singular E cauldron.
All right. You need lodging for 16 people.
Okay, what's that come out to be?
I don't know. Do you go to a nice place? Do you go to a dive bar? What are you looking at?
Let's go to like a medium road. Nice.
Steven, what's the damage?
Yeah, what's the damage first?
Looks like a gold per person, so 16 gold.
That's fine. Let's go to a nice place. 16 gold. I subtract it. We're done. Okay.
Every one of the kids is incredibly excited. It's the nicest bed that most of them have ever seen in person, and they spend
Even if they are
several
probably
hours
sharing like 4 to
Yeah.
a bed.
They spend several hours jumping up on the beds and off the beds and on the beds and off the beds. Several of them hurt
Naturally.
themselves and run over to your fear.
At least it's not as bad as this.
They freak out and run back away from you. All right. Long rest.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of moving things along, the night goes along without consequence.
I mean, there's no ring wraiths that show up in the middle of the night to try to stab us to death.
Not this night. Yeah, all of the kids have stab wounds in them. It's
Well,
Problem solved.
our hands are washed. Actually, Yorfear did it in their sleeps. In their misery. Okay. So we're gonna go see Bugaboo.
Yep.
Listen.
Yeah.
How do we ditch these kids?
You just do it.
You created the problem.
Need to do it.
So a half rest. I just said if we get a half rest and leave the kids at the hotel. They wake up, nobody's there. It's fine. I mean, well, the odds of us ever seeing them again, pretty low.
We'll just
You
pay
don't
for
know
like
my vote.
another day or two of them staying at the hotel.
Yeah, for real. It's only,
and-
what would
yeah.
that be? 10 gold? Yeah, we could do that. 20 gold?
You found 500 gold today.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That is
Let's
not
do
a
it.
small amount of gold.
What if we give them? Yeah.
See if let's go talk to the.
Yeah, let's go talk to
front
them. Maybe
desk
they
guy.
can watch them for a couple days until we come back from Borealis Academy.
Shoot, I was just gonna say, like, how much does it cost for like a extended stay?
Maybe like a month.
Yeah,
Just give
why
the
not?
kids like a month there. Yeah. Hey, innkeeper, how much does it cost? I'm gonna pick my kids up later. What's it cost for an extended stay, all inclusive?
A gold per person per day.
Okay, so 10. What are we? What are,
Like 300.
300 gold for a
300
month.
gold for a month.
that's pretty steep. I'll be honest.
That is most
Or-
of the money that we just.
Or we could just do what I said and get a half
also
rest,
not
leave the kids here,
food.
walk away.
Yeah, that's not.
That
food.
does actually. Sorry, that does include room and
Oh,
board.
does it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's not bad.
Yeah. The gold is for.
We're not
living.
giving them 300 gold for these kids that we're not tied to.
I mean, we mildly are tied to
Oh
them.
my God.
We save them.
We
From
can give
a
them a week.
So
Yeah, a
that's
week. Let's
for
do a week.
the
Let's
the
do a
one
week.
gold is for a modest lifestyle. You
They
could
are
go down to a
orphans.
poor lifestyle,
Yeah,
which
what's
is
that?
still above squalid.
Is there like an ultra poor lifestyle?
Okay, Naka.
So there's starting at the middle, modest, poor, squalid, and wretched. There isn't even a price for wretched.
Just. Oh my gosh.
Listen, you're fair. You found the gold. You make the decision.
What do you all want to do? I said from the beginning, if you want me to go drop the kids off at the community center, we can.
I think we tried and you said no.
I needed some time to think about it.
You were about ready to go in and adopt 10 kids.
Well,
so
I
don't
still
tell us it's
may,
our
okay? Caleb really made a point in the steel mill about me not accepting my responsibilities for my actions, okay?
I'd withholding. That's still my vote.
Okay, just
Yeah, we'll just carry them with us until we decide what to do with them.
all right. We'll probably be back through in like a week, don't you think?
Maybe, or maybe we'll forget.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna pay for a week. I'm gonna give Caleb the map to my farm. All right, and I walk him through exactly how to read the map, and they can ride the Pines carriage to the farm. Okay, if we're not back in a week, you can go here, and here's some extra gold to buy you guys food. And then hopefully you guys, if I'm not back, you just survive on your own. I did it. You guys can figure it out. There's a lot of books and stuff you don't know how to read, but just figure it out, man.
You could give them the option of going back to the community center also, if
That's
that's what
true.
they want.
What do you guys want to do? And then I'm done asking questions. I want to move on with this story.
If we get hungry, there's always Jimmy. He's still pretty salty.
All right, now I'm starting to not like you guys that much. Okay.
We'll meet you at the farm.
All right, perfect. Caleb, here's how you do it. And now we're going to go see our friend Bugaboo. If we're not back in a week, that's how you go. Be safe. Here's some extra gold.
You give them the actual directions to the farm.
Yes. I thought about it for half a second. That's fine.
It was a little more than half a second, but yeah.
All right. You send a gaggle of 10 8-year-old children off with a wagon and some gold to travel several days to your hidden homestead in the middle of the woods.
They're not going to get there.
That sounds terrible when you put it that way, DM. All right, if we're not back in a week, just go to the community center or fend for your lives, okay? See you guys. Love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you at the end of the campaign and we can live a happy life. If not, you'll be burying me. I'll see you guys.
What's a campaign?
It's,
How many
don't worry
E's
about it.
does
I'm
it
out. Yorkie's already walked out. He's done.
So they have a week stay at the hotel, and then after that they take off on the thing. Is that it?
They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want.
Okay. All right. The rest of you, or what are y'all doing now?
We're
Are you
going to
heading to
Bugaboo,
the-
right?
Bugaboo?
Bugaboo.
All right. You head off to Opportune Omnite and Omni Emporium.
All right, you push open the door. The bell jingles depressingly.
How does it jingle depressingly? Is this
Song.
like the doors from Hitchhiker's Guide? It's like,
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Its size.
You walk in and see Dorbar seemingly sitting in like the same position that you left him in a day ago, still unwashed shirt, not currently working on anything, just sitting at his table.
I'm surprised he's not. Was he visited every day by the hounds?
You don't know that.
I kind of got
does
the
look up-
vibe that he was, but I guess, yeah.
He does look up as
Totally
you
misinterpreted.
walk in. So, am I safe?
I mean, we dismantled their operation.
I'm gonna need a deception check for that. You dismantled a factory of the hounds that the
We
hounds
dismantled
were working at.
that particular operation.
You killed like 6 hounds on the way.
Bugaboo, do you like children?
No.
Just asking.
Am I safe?
As far as we're aware, the place where the Omnite that you were producing was being used is no longer functional in such a way that it could continue to use the Omnite that you were producing.
That was the most politician-y answer I've ever heard.
Listen, we blew up the facility that they were using your Omnite at.
The heads of the organization still exist. We may or may not have
Except
killed
one.
a lot
No,
of their people.
listen.
Oh, except for one of them. One of them is
We
totally
killed
dead.
one of them. We know where the other 2 are, and we will kill them very soon.
So, let me just get this straight.
Mhm.
You assaulted the guys who were assigned to come get my Omnite,
Yep, sure did.
went off, blew
Yep.
up one of their factories,
Yep.
killed a bunch of their guys,
And one of the
Yep.
leaders.
and one of the leaders,
Yes, sir.
Yep.
and all of this started in my shop.
Well, see, here's the thing is the leaders don't know that we came here.
Correct.
Those 2 guys are still alive.
We didn't go kill them.
We can definitely
They've
go.
already reported,
And-
I'm sure.
If I remember, they started it.
It doesn't matter who started it. It
We
matters that
finished
it
it.
started in my shop. And they're gonna blame me.
Like I said, do you like children?
No! Why is that relevant?
I have something, somewhat of a witness protection program. I know of a farm down south from here, and we can return you back to your life of luxury and the job that you love so much once all the dust is settled. But for now, we are gathering up some high-valued witnesses and taking them to the farm where they're safe, no one knows about them, and we're, like I said, we already know where the other two leaders are. We know what their plans are. We're going to finish and we're going to cap them, and then you can come back to chiseling away on your own night, brother. But for now, we may be needing to move you to a safe house.
So my options are go watch a bunch of brats for who knows how long.
They're pretty self-sufficient, I will say this. Just there's weapons in the farm. I'll tell you where they are. You're going to need to hide them when you get there.
Also, like, those kids were totally running a factory by themselves. So
they can operate a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. So you can put them to work,
What
man.
does that have to do with a farm?
Have you worked on a farm before? There's lots of picking up. They can assemble a conveyor belt. They can make things pop, 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 pop. Efficiency, quality of life.
All right. So my options are go watch a bunch of brats for who knows how long, or probably get beat up within an inch of my life, maybe killed, and still go back to my original arrangement.
Well,
Here's the thing about the whole you getting beat up thing is that even if those other two goons that we may or may not have assaulted, blame you for it, the people at the top are not gonna blame you for it because they hate him enough that, like, this is not your problem. They don't have a problem with you. They have a problem with him.
yeah. Big problem. I cut my own hand off this morning. Yesterday morning.
He sure did.
Big problem. He
He did that for you.
I did it for you. And I left that sucker there. I don't need that hand.
But
So
he
listen-
didn't tell them he was doing it
Did
for
the
you.
hand
but he
have
did it
its
for
middle
you.
finger out when you cut it off, or are you just adding more insults to this mess?
Not exactly, but I do have a question for you. Is Frankenweenie and Small Guy supposed to be coming in here in a little bit? You're
Yeah,
not
how
as
frequently
sweaty.
do they visit?
And I pull out the ledger. I want to pull out the ledger, and I'll be like, are any of these, do they look like the amounts that you gave to Frankenweenie?
Interesting.
That was a good call.
He sighs heavily and pulls the ledger closer to him, and and he points out a few of them. These ones are me, and they look to be separated by about 3 or 4 days each. So it looks like they were coming in twice a week.
Okay.
Dang it.
So what, you think the guys are going to come in probably tomorrow or the next day?
Probably the next day. Unless they decide to come pay me a visit earlier than that.
Do you have a way to get in contact with them?
No.
Well, maybe you got the shipment done earlier. I don't know. They don't leave a
I
business
deliver
card?
the shipment when they come to get it. That's the deal.
Okay. So, like I said, you can join the witness protection program,
Watch a bunch of brats.
or I guess get pummeled.
Gotta be honest, I'm leaning towards getting pummeled.
These kids are pretty smart. They're pretty cool. I gotta be honest. One of them's name is Fallon. Pretty resourceful. They love hard labor.
Yorfir, can I talk to you outside for a second?
Yep.
What kind of range can you communicate with Finch?
That's a great question. Is it 60?
Like 100 feet.
Or 100?
100
Okay.
feet.
100
Okay.
feet, to be exact, if he wants to communicate with me.
I was wondering, like, if I bonded with that Omni up on the shelf, if I could communicate with him from a distance.
Yeah, 100%.
But, like, more than 100 feet.
Oh, no, probably not. Well, I don't know. Do they have, like, 5G Omnis now? Because mine's outdated. Mine's the BlackBerry of Omnis. It's got the scroll wheel
Well,
and everything.
You know, I did get my COVID shot, so...
Okay. All right. So you're radioactive. Great. All right.
I think I'm radioactive for totally different reasons.
Yes.
But yeah, no, 100 feet you'd be bonded. And I don't really know the timeline. I kind of was thinking we could wait for Frankenweenie to show up so we could shake him down again, but for some information. But I know we need to get to Borealis Academy.
Yeah, I don't.
So-
Yeah, I don't know. I know we're tight on time, but I don't know
Yeah.
how tight on time we are.
No, it's like 2 days, I think, so we need to get there. Here's the thing. Let's get you that Omni, and
I don't want to spend 1,000 gold on it, though.
if you just bond with it, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna have to give it to you.
Is it? Can Omnis only bond with one person? Is that like a thing? Like once they're bonded,
It ain't gonna be sellable. Oh no! Oh,
how do you
Omni-
know if you have bonded with an Omni?
You don't know the answer to that question. But
Are
you'll
you
find
asking-
out.
I'm
me?
also having a conversation with your fear
Sure.
right now.
Okay.
Sure,
Brought
that's
him
fine.
outside specifically to ask questions about the Omni.
Has it probed your brain? Like, have you seen
Uh,
it? Does it see you?
Something from up on that shelf projected images into my brain yesterday.
I would say you're getting close to bonding.
Yes, that means you've been bonded with.
Yeah, just whistle. Can you whistle? See if it comes.
If I
Just whistle.
so
Whistle. See
your
if it comes
fear,
through the window.
yeah, but see, we've established that I'm not great at whistling. Do you have to use your whistling? Is whistling the only way that you
No.
can communicate?
No, you don't have to whistle. I just whistle because it's annoying. Honestly, it bothers Finch a lot. Every time I whistle, it pisses him off.
So if you were to just think something at Finch, he would respond. He would, you could give him a command wordlessly.
Finch starts circling Iggy's head without me whistling. Yep.
Now, did you tell him to do that, or is he just
Yep.
doing that?
I just thought it.
Okay. The Omnis that are on the shelf up there, are they like in cages, or are they like, in display cases or whatever?
Just have him open up the cage. Tell him it's bonded to you.
I
He's gonna have to give it
I want
to
to
you.
ask to take a look at it.
It's just honestly, if you
Are there-
think it to hit the cage, it'll just smack the cage, and then he'll be like, "Oh, it's bonded to you. Crap, can't sell that thing."
Can I? Okay, I want to go back inside and talk to Bugaboo.
All right, let's go. See Bugaboo, my guy. You've been thinking about our proposition? Safety, security, food? I'll give you a little gold, a little stipend. Everyone a part of our witness protection program does have a stipend. It's sponsored by the wardens.
I don't know how much of what you say I should take seriously.
All of it, baby. all of it.
No,
that's
I do know
totally
that's not true.
Tell you what, I got a question for you. If I may change the subject here, because I know we're all loving this conversation, but
Yeah, sure. Let's stop talking about my entire future and possibly life. What can I help you with?
More importantly,
as a purveyor of Omnite curiosities, I don't remember what the slogan on your door is, but I would like to invoke that whatever that verbiage is.
Opportune Omnite and Omni Emporium. How are you going to use that?
I don't freaking know.
What's your question?
How frequently do you sell Omnis?
Probably about 1 or 2 a month.
And how does the process of like someone picking an Omni work? Do they know, like, is this like you touch an Omni and all of a sudden your hair starts blowing and there's a big light that comes down from above you and like a Harry Potter wand chooses the wizard kind of moment? Or
I have no idea what that reference is, but
yeah, that's fair.
No, you just I let them out one by one and we see if they bond with you.
And if they don't bond immediately, like, is there like a delayed bonding kind of thing, or like,
I mean,
how close
it could take a minute.
I'm not
or
from
two.
around here, so I don't really know.
Yeah,
how
that's
these
pretty
things
obvious.
work. Yeah. But like, can an Omni only bond with one person? Like, if they've bonded with someone, are they now like useless to anyone else?
Yeah, until that person dies, then they can rebond with someone else.
Well, I got some bad news. Sorry to add insult to injury here, but I think one of those guys on your shelf is you are not going to be able to sell to anyone else.
Well, you got 1,000 gold on you?
I do if you join our witness protection program.
So me receiving the money for the product that you effectively stole is contingent on me.
I haven't stolen anything.
It picked him. You know how this works, Bugaboo.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I really don't like you guys.
Most people don't, I'll be honest.
But hang on. You don't know if you don't like us yet, because you haven't
I
seen
know.
the fruits of our labor.
You've only seen half of our plans. Wait till the other one kicks in.
You've only heard the chaos that is part, the lead up. The result hasn't been had time to, it's in the oven baking.
Mm-hmm.
The pie has not come out.
Yes.
The two of you make persuasion checks.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a really good roll.
18.
22.
Wow.
That was a 19 on the die.
14 plus 4.
All right. You give me 1,000 gold. You get an Omni. And I go watch some kids for a while and probably don't die.
Yeah. Sounds good to me, man. You'll be able to return once we finish Tying up the loose end.
Yeah, if my shop hasn't been condemned for being abandoned. All right. I don't have many options. Let's do it.
How much gold do we have?
2,500.
Gosh, this is such a big...
Does that include the 500 that you just found?
Yeah.
That's so much money.
How much gold did you give the kids when they left?
That was already taken out. It was like
Oh, okay.
whatever the math was for a week.
Okay.
16 times 7.
100
or so.
And 10 times
should have been
7.
10 times. Yeah, should have been 70 gold.
Yeah.
I'll put a couple back.
Gosh, that's so much of our party funds.
How about we give you 500 now? 500 when we come back.
How about 1,000 right now?
I do not want to listen to you haggle for another 45 minutes.
It hasn't been 45 minutes.
It's gonna be.
If the party wants to do it, I'm okay with it. I don't care.
Go for it.
I'm fine.
So far, every
fine.
item is a lot of money. So there you go. There's 1,000 removed.
I want to knock on his desk, like a da, and have the one that's bonded.
I guess it's worth noting that there's a bunch of them up there. You're not exactly sure which one of them.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is, but I know that whichever one it is if I ask it to answer, it's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You don't see any of them move. You do get an image in your head of a big red X.
A big red X. Do I see that big red X anywhere?
No.
What does it mean?
The numbers, Mason.
Oh, you got another Finch.
All right, full disclosure, Bugaboo. I don't know which one of those it is. But one of them has definitely been putting pictures in my brain.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
You get an image of yourself from what looks like its current perspective.
Are they close or far enough from each other that I can tell?
Probably not yet. No.
Is this like a live feed?
Just an image at a time.
You might be able to tell like what quadrant it's in or something.
Yeah. You can narrow it in.
Can you start pulling them out from this section?
All right. Goes and unlocks the case and starts pulling them out one by one, holding them out towards you.
Eventually you get an image of looks like a fisheye lens of looking up at you.
That's
You
the
probably
one.
should trim your nose hairs.
I don't have any nose hairs. What are you talking about?
Fair enough.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Not as good. 16.
Looking down at the Omni in the cage, it looks very similar to Finch. It's a chunk of Omnite that's been carved. It has a bunch of runes all over it. But you seem to notice it appears to be like shaking a little bit in the cage.
Can I do an insight check to see if my thought is this like an energy related thing or a like fear thing?
Sure, insight check.
can't see it.
14.
I can't.
With 14, it's hard to tell.
Okay. Miranda. Oh my god. How does its glow look? Is it like a consistent glow, or is it is it still in a cage?
Yep.
Let's give the man his gold.
Okay, I give it the gold. Is Finch picking up on anything? Is Finch communicating with the Omni? Can it get any images?
Omnis can communicate. If you'd like him to, he probably can.
Can I tell that Iggy's struggling trying to figure out which one it is? Obviously.
Well,
Probably.
theoretically,
Well, I figured out which one it is.
Yeah, he knows which one it is now. Yeah.
He's just shaking in his boots.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Okay,
Finch,
this
what's
is
wrong with it?
this is the guy that you can't sell to anyone else until I'm dead. I'll take it. Can you open up the cage, please?
he pulls the bag of 1,000 gold over and puts it in his register or whatever, and produces a key from under the counter. There you go.
I look at your fear. Is this like a normal thing for omnis to be kept in cages?
I guess it's been a really long time since I got.
It's
Finch.
pretty normal, at least during the purchasing process. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, I'm gonna open up the cage. I don't need this cage here.
Yeah.
You can keep this. Put the next one in it.
The second that you unlock it, the Omni blasts out of the cage and goes straight underneath your lab coat, and you can feel it like shaking underneath your armpit.
Sick. Can I pull out my beach rock and hold it up next to it to see if a little extra juice will wait, would that, no, it wouldn't work that way. It would go the other way, right? Or would it, can you control the direction of the flow, or is it just an average thing?
They would equalize. Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, your beach rock probably does not have more energy in it than this Omni.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking if I could just siphon some of that energy into this one. Never mind.
Does it look like it has low energy?
No,
I don't know. It's
It doesn't
shaking in
appear
its
to be
boots,
low
so-
energy.
I mean, from me, like, yeah, from what I know.
Its light seems steady.
Okay.
And strong.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it, Finch?
Iggy, now that it's out, you start to get more images. The images seem to be rotating. You see a lot of the door being opened. You see zoomed in shots of the bells ringing, like at the top of the door. You see shots of the of Durabar, like with a hammer, hammering down on something. You just see all of these like various things that it seems to be fixating on and sending to you.
Okay, so these all seem like they're connected to the hounds coming to the hounds coming to collect pieces of Omnite. has he been chipping omnis to dust? I'm gonna ask him that. Have Mr. Durabar, have you been sacrificing omnis in order to pay the hounds?
Look, I didn't have many options.
That is highly frowned upon in our society, my guy. That's you must have been really out of luck, because that's not.
I know I'm.
Do you
I'm
see
from
how
out of
much
town,
Omnite
but-
is in this store? I am.
Do you see how much Omnite is out of this store?
Yeah, and how much of that is perfectly shaped, perfectly carved, holds infinite energy, and can actually be used.
And they were requiring you to provide them with energy holding Omnite. Of like the perfect shape, correct?
It's got to be perfect. Otherwise, it's useless.
So you're just sitting here chopping up Omnis, huh? Omni chop shop.
I've only done 3.
Do we trust him with the kids now?
Did you trust him with the kids to begin with?
I did at the beginning. No, I'm not so sure.
The kids are gonna get there early. They'll have all the
We'll
weapons.
be fine. Actually,
They'll be
yeah.
They'll
I'm
have
gonna-
all the
the
weapons.
kids will have the weapons. It'll be fine.
Iggy, you get multiple images in a row of just the door handle.
Door handle.
He just wants to leave, I'm sure. Okay, well, your fear, if you want to give this guy the, directions to your farm, whatever, my buddy here does not want to be in this building anymore, so I'm going to step outside. Pleasure doing business with you. I am genuinely happy that I met you, because not only have I now made a friend, but also you furthered my interest in the craft of Omnite refining.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have met you.
That being said, have a nice life. I hope the kids don't kill you on the farm.
How many Omnis are in the store right now? Like hundreds?
No, probably 2 dozen.
Okay, well, we can't just like leave the Omnis here for the hounds to take.
Another
Oh
kid
no, I'll
scenario.
take those with me. I'm not leaving my stock
Oh,
here.
okay, good. I was gonna say you can't leave those here because they'll just use them for their own thing. Bag of holding.
And because you are no longer fueling the hounds with Omnite, supplying the hounds with Omnite, you don't need to grind up any more of your Omnis into dust.
Correct.
Every Omni I grind up is 1,000 gold lost. You don't have to
Correct.
convince me.
And then we can just
Okay,
keep
cool.
this between us, so you don't get strung up by your toes. Because I don't think I need
So-
to remind you.
On top of everything else, you're
Oh,
threatening
stop
me.
it! Just get out of here.
All right, yeah, you have convinced him. He collects all his stuff and goes on to collect the kids as well.
Yeah. Iggy, as you are heading outside and the little Omni's like peeking out from underneath your lab coat, there's like a horse carriage that walks by, and the guy on the back whips the back of the horse, and as soon as it does, the Omni pulls back. You hear what looks like boxes being stacked, and there's like a slam, and then you see a picture of the box, and then it jumps back again.
Great. I bonded
you're
with the
a
one
black-
who doesn't like loud noises.
You managed to get an Omni that is afraid of loud noises. Yes.
Incredible. Wow. I'm gonna just tell the dude, like, I'm sorry in advance. There are a lot of loud noises that surround me, but I promise you none of them will be directed at you.
You're getting a lot of pictures of whips and boxes and doors and nays and just a lot.
Maybe Finch can ease some of his worries or something. Maybe they can be friends. He can coax him down a little bit.
And let me look
Are you
at
gonna
my-
name your Omni? Your Omni needs a name.
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
Finch.
I'm gonna have to sit with it.
Do you name your Omni, or does it like tell you its name?
You name
it.
I named mine Finch because every morning when I'd wake up, there was a yellow finch that landed on the windsill outside of my home that I grew up in. It sang me a song.
Is that real?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm assuming all of this is happening as you are loading into your carriage.
Yeah.
And setting off.
Yeah, let's go to see Professor Elwyn.
You slowly make your way out of the city. Your new Omni jumping at every bump in the road.
Wait, aren't we on like a hovercraft? Don't we ignore bumps in the road?
It's gotta, the illusion's gotta be there a little bit.
Okay. Can I just use? I have some like extra clothes and something. Can I like try to make a soft, like padding for it to retreat into?
Yeah, you can swaddle it.
Yeah.
That I now I need to generate an image of an Omni just swaddled in a bunch of blankets poking
Hey,
out.
Iggy, now you and I can talk to each other without talking.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we can communicate.
It does go through a game of telephone, so
yeah,
be warned.
Yeah, I mean, we have to rely on Finch. I don't know how reliable your guy is, but
yeah, I don't know. All I've gotten is pictures from him so far, and they're all of things that terrify him.
well, that's more than
all
what
they
Finch
can send
sends
is
me.
pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even if you communicate, it will be in pictures.
But I wonder, like, I wonder if I could like write something on my data pad, like type something out, and then project that image to him, and have him project that image to Finch, and then to you.
Yeah, I used to use Finch all the time to steal codes from safes. I would let him hide in the rafters of a place, and he would copy the image of what they were doing. That's how I met the orphanage. The leader of the
By
orphanage.
breaking into their safe.
Yeah, pretty much. Stole his money right from underneath him. That's pretty dope.
You head out of the city.
Yep. North.
As you are leaving the city, as you drive through the north gates out onto the road, you glance back at the city that was your home for quite a while, and see standing just inside the gate two men in black coats with little gold stitching on the edge, just looking out the gate. And then they turn and walk back in.
Does that match Blackthorn's garb?
Yeah, I think so.
These Yorfir you would recognize as hounds, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they know. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You continue on north, and you travel through land that gets progressively more dead and desolate as you go. And as you travel, you begin to see clouds forming on the horizon. Clouds that grow. And before long, you are looking at maybe a mile ahead, a massive snowstorm blowing in your direction. Would you like to do anything?
How
this probably would have been after like 6 hours of travel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we're about to just go through Snowstorm Haven pretty much. We're all in upper mountains of Elysium, and this is what we're known for, is just covered in snow and wind. So
yeah, at this point you are solidly in the Ostrom tundra.
Yeah. I feel like Yorfir is probably not very fazed by it. Even though he lived in the pines, he's probably used to seeing snow and things.
Yeah, snowstorms are not necessarily uncommon, but they're not as common in the tundra as they are elsewhere. However, they do tend to be more fierce in the tundra.
Is there anywhere like around us that we would be able to like pull over with a little like natural shelter, or it's flat land right now?
It's pretty flat land. Give me a survival check. And Naka as well, driving the vehicle.
Sweet mercy. Okay, well, I have a +0 for survival. That's a 19 on the die.
Very nice.
You are muted, John.
13.
13. Cool. All right. There isn't really any good shelter. There is a stand of scraggly trees not too far off. You are, however, on a hovercraft, which theoretically it can just go above the snow.
Yeah, I knew that because I'm Yorfir. We're just gonna keep on going.
This would be the information that Naka shares with you.
Well, with that, let our faithful steed ride over the snow unless we get blown away.
On we go.
Okay.
We'll be driving cautiously, but yeah.
I do have a question about the resiliency of omnis, specifically with fire.
I don't have that answer.
They are effectively like a gemstone, right? So they should be okay.
Anything intense enough to burn a diamond. But
because I can effectively just become a human bonfire if people are getting cold.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
We should be okay unless something terrible happens. Which, right on cue. Speeder breaks down.
That's funny you mentioned that. No. You continue on and watch the snow get steadily closer and closer, and you all brace as it hits, and it's a wall of cold that just washes over you. All your exposed skin is pretty much immediately covered in stinging snow and ice. You are probably not very comfortable at the moment, but you do continue on, mostly able to keep the hovercraft going straight. It does occasionally, there's a big gust of wind that blows it to one side or the other, but generally you are able to keep it going straight. As you continue, Naka, actually give me a piloting check as I talk through this. As you continue, you every now and then feel a little 16. Yeah, you feel a little shudder in the speeder as you continue. Nothing too worrying, but it is acting up a little bit.
How close are we to... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
How close are we to Requiem, or have we passed it?
No, you would not have passed Requiem yet. That's still a day out.
Okay. Got you.
Or maybe a little less, but you continue on like that through the storm for about another hour, before suddenly the speeder begins, your controls lock up and the speeder just begins sort of drifting and turning sideways a little bit, and it begins to tip as well, one side of it lifting up off the ground slowly, just like a degree a second. You have one side of your speeder lifting up, and with that 16 piloting check, I would say you probably realize speeders have they are constantly adjusting essentially the super powerful magnetic field below them to making micro adjustments to keep it level and steady and smooth. It feels to you like it's just been locked in one position.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I think as I start to feel it go, I think I would mention it to the group. Hey guys, I think we got a problem here.
Can you articulate what that problem might be?
You're starting to feel it.
We're starting to tip here.
So my thought is that if I have any idea that it's magnetic field related, I might be able to manipulate it.
Interesting. Make a tech check.
I'm not good at those, Steven.
I ain't mad at you. I got one hand.
Oh, but an 18 on the die is good. 23.
23.
24.
Plus 5. That's still a good bonus.
Yeah, that is still a good bonus, Grant. Yeah, you it's hard work, but you manage to level it out. You're not going to be able to keep this up for very long. This is incredibly draining physically, and like you're feeling your artificial heart straining to keep up the pumping required to write this magnetic field. It's like the speeder is like the strength of its field is probably several times greater than the strength of a field that you can create.
Sure. I will articulate that feeling.
Then guys, unfortunately, I think we gotta pull over.
Yeah.
All right. You pull off to the side of. I suppose you wouldn't know if you're on the road anymore. You stop the speeder right where it is, and it settles into the snow, and immediately the snow is building up around the sides of it.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Can I how cold is it? Is it like very cold?
Yeah.
I would like to light up the snow underneath and around us in an effort to try to create ice.
Very interesting.
Oh, cool.
So, okay, so you're trying to sort of make a wall of ice around you. Like, are you essentially trying to make an igloo as it progressively builds up? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm trying to prevent us from sinking. You're potentially
trying to keep
dozens of feet into a snowbank, and essentially create like a giant snowshoe underneath us.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think you could do that. It is, however, gonna continue building up around you. Like there's still a lot of snow falling.
So the snow building up around us is not a we're sinking into the snow. It's there is so much snow falling.
Right. There was like some of it was you're sinking into the snow, but for the most part, it's just building up from the snow from the storm.
Well,
I misinterpreted that. I thought we were sinking into the snow.
No.
I don't have much to help with this, y'all. Is there any? We can't. There's a bunch of snow. We can't see anything around us.
Is it obvious?
Visibility's pretty limited.
Looking at the speeder, if there's anything mechanically wrong that can be fixed.
Yeah, make a tech check.
You'll probably have to get underneath it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you probably would.
I can lift it up.
You do have brawny.
I do.
All right, yeah, you get out and stand on the ice that Iggy just created and
everybody gets
lever
out.
it up. Yeah, everybody gets out. You lever it up a bit. Vidar slides under. What'd you roll?
20 sets.
Yeah, it's the magnetic coils that regulate the field are completely iced over.
Oh.
Oh, he does things up.
I share that with.
All right. Can I just melt them and
Without
like
melting the coils?
set her back down and
Go a little further. Same thing.
You know, can I like? Yeah, I mean, can I just melt the ice around him and see if that solves the problem?
Sure. Yeah, you melt the ice, and as soon as you stop blasting it, it begins to freeze again.
Okay, we're gonna need to wait it out, huh?
I mean, I got pyrokinesis as a cantrip. I can do this till the cows come home.
Gonna hold on to the bottom of the
Right.
this feeder as it's running along.
Well, all right. So I can. How big is this? Are these magnetic coils? Because
they probably go like the full length of the speeder, actually.
Okay, because I was gonna say I can just create a 5-foot cube that has fire in it.
Yeah, we'll cover the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
People outside, so this would be not Iggy, Naka, or Vidar, give me a perception check.
Uh-oh. There's wampas in them there hills.
6.
What was it? Perception? I got a 12.
22.
All right,
I
Ember.
thought they smelled bad on the outside.
You you hear a grunt over the wind, somewhere in the distance, an animalistic grunt.
I would share that with everybody and say you're feared. Do you got any big animals around here that like to hide out in snowstorms?
Yeah, we do. The tundra bears.
You can nature check that to know.
Once again, I made that up. That's an 8.
I bought it.
I don't really get up to these parts, so I'll be honest. I don't know what it is, but it grunted at us. Finch, can you see what it is?
Finch can see exactly what you can see. Do you want him to go out?
Careful, he's not coming back.
No, I want it.
That's precisely the kind of mission that your fear sends Finch on.
You guys got it all wrong. Yeah. No, Finch is staying with me. Yeah, I think we should probably prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
How far away is that grunt or whatever we heard?
It's really hard to tell distance or even direction with the wind blowing.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any idea if it was like a grunt of like, "Ooh, I'm in pain," or like a, "Oh, I'm grunting as I'm moving through the snow," or is it like a, I don't know.
Probably the second. Ember, you hear more noises, some snuffling, and more grunts as well, and like chunks of snow being pushed and plopping down onto the rest of the snow. You're hearing this from several directions now. You're not sure exactly where, but it's definitely more than one direction.
Can you get some big birds to fly us away, Ember?
Yeah, fly away in the snowstorm. That's a great idea.
Just hover for a while.
I mean, can we see? I mean, you know how if it's snowing, I mean, you can't make out detail, but like, are we seeing any giant shapes in the distance? Anything?
Yeah, as Iggy is lighting up the bottom of the speeder, you get little flickers of flame shooting out the sides that light up the surrounding area a little bit. There are definitely some forms, hulking forms.
Hulking?
What if we wave? What if we wave Iggy like a torch? Ah! Ah!
They are probably about 50 feet away right now.
Okay. Can we see them enough for like any type of like, I don't know, depiction of what they are? Are they friendly or enemies?
I don't think you can see them enough to tell that at this point. They are, however, larger than human.
Larger than me, human? Or, I mean, human? Or
yes, even larger than you.
Okay. Everyone, get in the bag of holding.
Can I just don't know what they are yet. I don't want to do something like drastic or dramatic if it's needed.
Let's just wait and find out.
Forms move closer. You see them in the occasional flashes of fire, and they one of them gets close enough for you to see the glint of the fire in its eyes, and it is a it has a strange, like almost humanoid but twisted face. It has a massive nose and ears sticking out to either side, and tusks jutting up from its lower lip. I would say your fear, you would recognize this from Tails, has a ice troll.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Ices? What's up?
They stop within sight of the fire around you, and at this point they are surrounding you. It looks like 8 or 9 of them on all sides.
How many?
How close?
This would be within about 20 feet, I think.
Okay.
8 or 9.
And they stop moving and just stand there, breathing heavily.
Are they
see little plumes of fog out of their mouths?
Yorfir, do you know, are ice trolls like friendly creatures? Potentially?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The stories I've heard is they like to use bones as toothpicks, so we probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Good.
How many are there, did you say?
9.
Oh, let's open up Tailspire.
This is the part where I quote Captain America Civil War and say, I saw this really old movie one time. Where these speeders tied tow cables around these big walking things, except I'm going to talk about a part slightly later in that same movie, and I will force grab or Pharaoh grab the Pharaoh blade just preemptively.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you grab that and I assume light it up.
No, I don't want to light it up. I don't want to make them think that we're aggressive.
Sure. At the sudden motion of you pulling the Pharaoh blade out of the backpack, they all immediately begin rushing in towards you.
Okay, then I light it up.
The golden glow spreads out over all of them, and spreads up into the sky. There's a warm light growing up just above you, off to the side, and you hear sizzling as a giant plume of fire shoots down and engulfs the first few trolls and moves around in a circle, igniting them all. All but 2 of them fall into the snow, unmoving, and the last 2 run off, screaming wildly. As
we all look at Iggy and are like, wow, good job, dude.
And you, in addition to the sizzling of the snow in the air, you hear thud, 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 and then feel the ground shake beneath you. As
dragon?
A gold dragon lands in front of you.
No,
that's where we'll pick up next week.
I feel like I would have said, as all that was, I would have been like looking around at everyone like, guys, that is not me.
Papa Drolgus has come home to roost. Great.
Not quite as big as Papa Drolgus.
Okay, well that's good.
Oh boy.
But pretty big. It's not a small one.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Trailer button.